Welcome to this video lecture. This is Dinesh, Assistant Professor in EC Department, Government College of Engineering, Tanjavur. We are in Unit 5, Application Layer. Today's topic is Introduction to Application Layer. So these are the concepts we are going to cover today. We start with Introduction to Application Layer and Application Layer models like client-server model, peer-to-peer entity, and client-server programming, and application programming interface. So these are the topics we're going to discuss in this video session. First of all, what is called application layer? See, it talks about network application. So in our computers, we're running a application or a process that will be connected through internet and to access the server, and we are giving a request and they're giving a response through the network services. So application layer discuss about network applications like Google Chrome, Outlook, telepresence, Skype. So it talks about web browsers. It talks about web application. It access the network through web browser and some of the application layer protocols. Protocols like Hypertext Transfer Protocol, SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, FTP, File Transfer Protocol. So we are going to talk about the application that are connected to the internet and how they are accessing the data from server and how they are connected. What are the protocols they are using? What type of model we have? So these are the things we are going to discuss in the application layer. See, application layer in the OSI model is the closest layer to the end user, which means that application layer and end user can interact directly with the software application. We talked about software application. We are talking about network oriented applications. And the application layer programs are based on client and server. Application layer provides service to the user and take service from transport layer. The communication is provided using logical connection, which means that the two application layers assume that there is an imaginary direct connection through which they can send and receive messages. So the logical connection of application layer will be given in this diagram. So we have a user in a particular node and they need to connect via internet, and several nodes he needs to pass through and it connect that other end of the user. But normally it's look like a multi-staging routing, but if we talk about that application is logical communication. It may think with host to host, process to process communication, but it's not right. It will take some other routes like some other ISP, internet service providers like router R1 and R2. Later it moves on to that national ISP, internet service provider, R4, and then it moves on a sub router R5, next other set of routers, then it reaches the particular user. But what we assume that we logical connection between Alice and Bob. The diagram shows you that. But it will have a lot of staging will be available, lot of routers we need to pass through with the help of transport layer, with the help of network layers and the operating systems given in the OSI model. See, the application layer is the top of the OSI model, and it needs that some of the contribution from corresponding layers like presentation, like translation. We are doing encryption and compression, like that session management. Then if you talk about transport layer, it talks about the connections, like we need the help of TCP connection, or it may be UDP connection. It depends upon the application. We select that type of protocols, whether it is a connectionless or connection oriented services. So, but it's look like application to application. In other words, process to process communication. What are the services it has to provide? As I said, it talks about network application. It gives lot of services like virtual terminal and using the protocol Telenet, electronic mail through SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, file accessing through file transfer. We are using a protocol called file transfer protocols. And if you want to web surfing, we need a protocol called hypertext transfer protocol, where that Chrome and Firefox are using that protocol for web surfing. You are using a web browser to access that network part. So if you have a connection, if you have a process needs some software application and some application layer protocols, then it checks the connection through some other layers as to come to the picture, and they need to get embedded, and we're getting a application, or we're getting that program, whatever program we need to execute in our application. See, the application layer, however, is somewhat different from other layers, and the protocols can be removed from this layer easily, as they only receive service from transport layer. That's a key thing, but does not provide any service to that layer. The protocol is used in the first 4 layers of TCP/IP, should need to be standardized and documented. So normally comes with operating system. We need to collaborate with first 4 layers of that particular model, OSI model or the TCP/IP model, then with the application. So application application layer versus that 4 layers will embed it with the help of operating system, like client server communication has to happen with the first 4 layers with the application layer. So there are several application layer protocols. As I said, we have dynamic host configuration protocol, Telenet, hypertext transfer protocol, FTP. So application layer paradigm, and we have to understand that we have 2 types of models are available. One will be client server, and another will be peer-to-peer, point-to-point communication without help of access point. Without the help of server, we can connect that other user is possible. So it should be clear that to use the internet, we need 2 application programs to interact with each other. One running on computer and somewhere in the world, and other running on another computer. The 2 programs need to send message each other through the internet infrastructure. So we are exchanging the information or data between 2 applications, between 2 host to host communication or process to process, with the help of switching, with the help of that network, internet working. And one more thing, it dictates how the applications structured over the various end systems through the protocol layering, through certain rules we are using for connecting one end user to another end user. It starts with client server paradigm, and if you check out, we have 2 local area networks. If you want that particular user needs to connect that server, we need to switch over to one network to another network, and that may be a ISP or some other network, and that network to we move on to server. We need the help of routers and several networks will be passed over. And here client giving a request, and through the server will acknowledge that, and it responds, and it will get the information. So this type of model is called client server model. One will be, it is a finite system, a client system, whereas server is an infinite system. It may be a active open, client may be active open, and server will be passive open. So the client server model describes how server provides resources and services to one or more clients. So examples of servers include web servers, a particular website. If you want to access the website, we need to access the particular server. A mail server, that is a file server. Each of the servers provide a resource to client devices such as desktop computers, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. So through web browser, we are going to access the server, for particular resource we are going to share through the common network. Most servers have one-to-many relationship with clients, meaning a single server can provide resources to multiple clients at the time. See, if you talk about the server side, always on host, permanent IP address. They don't have a dynamic or a proxy IP address because it is a common core server where everyone needs to access, and every user has to see the same web server. If it is a web server, we have to see the same data will be appear, and it will be active in passive connection. Every time it will be on, and it data centers for scaling. If you talk about client side, it will communicate with the server and maybe intimately connected, may have a dynamic IP address. Do not communicate directly with each other because in our system we have a IP address, our personal IP address. When you move on to network, we may given as a dynamic IP address or a proxy address given for a routing the data. And next one is peer-to-peer network, and here the same diagram, but here we can connect within a network without the help of server. It is not a procedure to connect the server. It is not necessary. If you want to connect that user or your end user within your limit or within your area, within your network, we can connect through internet. It's possible. Through internet, we can access your end user. We can share data or exchanging application without the help of server. We can directly access the other network also with the help of internet. Not necessary. If you, it's like a ad hoc network. It won't need any access point to access the user. So point to point, end to end, one entity to another entity, one network to another network is possible. The direct connection of user with the help of internet is possible. In P2P network, the peers are computer system which are connected to each other via internet. As I said, files can be shared directly between system on the network without the need of central server. So we don't want access the server, but we need internet service, internet infrastructure to access the user. So the only requirement for a computer to join peer-to-peer network, as I said, is an internet connection and the software is needed. So in this paradigm, there is no need for server process to be running all the time. So it is not necessary. We never take the resource from the server side. So there is no need of synchronized with the server. There is no process of waiting for a client process, all time waiting for a client process and request to connect the establishment. And this is a responsibility between the peers. So another important thing is client server programming. So the remote sensing applications are use client server programming. We have an example for controlling your home applications. So they're talking about application interface and application layer programmings. So in this paradigm, the communication at the application layer is between two running application program called process, a client and server. So they deal with the software and they deal with executing the program between two ends. So how they are doing, how they are accessing that, and how they are executing the program within a application. A client is running a program that initializes the communication by sending a request. A server is another application program that waits for a request from a client. The idea is that number of client machines connect to server and ask the server for various things. So send this email for me and get that content from the web page. One common use of the server is used to interact with other client. So they have a computer language like C, Java. So a lot of the languages are available, and we have different web applications. Web softwares are available. A lot of frameworks are available for designing application, and so we need some set of instructions to get a connection from network. So that we will see in the coming slides. So this is an example for client server programming. So we have a PC. This is your client, and this is your server. So I'm going to, this particular client is going to access a web page to control the lights for see how it will be doing. For example, it has to connect that web server through internet. We are going to connect the web server. So this particular web server are providing a web page. So through the web page, the house owner can control the lights, indoor lights and outdoor lights if you want to off. And that message will send to the control board. It will be sending like the client with the server, and the server in the server we connect with the web page. That web page has to be through the web page that we can go for a home lighting control board through internet. And through that board, whatever switches we have pressed in the web page, so that will be given, the program will be executed here. So the client will be somewhere else. With the help of internet, with the help of server, I'm controlling that remote area, the indoor light and outdoor light to switch on and off. So that will be possible through that server, through the internet, through the control board. So this is the integrating application we have for client server programming. So with the help of server also we can do that. Without the help of server, we can access with the internet. This also do some of the applications are there available. So it's about light controlling website. So what's the use of AP, application programming interface? Just now we discussed about the programs have a normal language, like programming language to, and some softwares to execute the program in a sequential manner or whatever it is to do automation. Here, the application layer needs that type of instruction set to set up a connection from one network to another network, or client to server. So we use the same set of instructions to setting a connection, getting a request and response for acknowledgement. We are using the same circuits. If we talk about API, it's like an interface. It's like if you have a mail, we have a username, password to connect with the mail. So it's like a door, entry door for communication, and it may have authorization, and the authentication will have that feature. It's also added up. So this particular interface having a responsible connector between two hosts. So between two end system, it acts as a connector, and it acts, but both the client and the server will consider this particular connector as a source. If a destination thinks the source may be this particular device. So that, for example, if you talk about, we are going to talk about in detail about socket interface. There we will discuss about that particular point about that, how they are connecting. So computer program is normally written in computer language with a predefined set of instruction that tells the computer what to do. And if we need a process to able to communicate with another process, we need a new set of instructions to tell the lowest 4 layers. So what the transport layer is going to do. For example, the transport layer, with the help of TCP connection or UDP connection, the connection establishment will have to do. So how to open the connection? The TCP should how to open the connection, send and receive data from other end, and close the connection. If you are using TCP and the transport layer, we have to do these things. So the set of instruction of this kind is normally referred to as application programming interface. See, if you are using a transport layer and if you are in the transport layer, the segmentation part, and you are going to use the protocol called TCP, we need a connection establishment, and then we give a acknowledgement, and we know port number. We discuss about all these things. So set up the connection, we need some interface. That interface is nothing but application. So some of the set of instructions are named as application programming interface. An interface in a programming is a set of instructions between two entities. So one of the entities is the process and the application. So we know that is act as a client. And another is the operating system that encapsulates the first 4 layers of the TCP. So normally that is the operating system. So this is there in application, and these 4 layers has to coordinate and embed. And there we need to set up a connection with the same instruction we are using for programming in the individual application present in the host device. We can use like keyboard interfacing, whatever programs we have, the same set of instructions used to set up the connections to. Several APIs are designed for communication. 3 among them are common: the socket interface, transport layer interface, tree. The socket interface is a set of instructions. We're going to talk about socket interface that provides a communication between the application layer and the operating system. As I said, that 4 layers with the application layer. The idea of socket allow us to use the set of all instructions already designed in a programming language. So that's a important factor. Programming language for our other sources and sinks. The socket interface look like that in client side and server side. Socket interface is get the responsible between these two ends. He is the entry point and he has to get the approval and get the connections from one entity, one client to another server. So this diagram talks about we're giving a request and we're providing a logical connection, getting a request and getting a response. So this is the part we have for a logical connection. The socket will have a major duty. The server side, they think they don't know about client process. They know about the socket is the client. In the client side, they think server is act as a socket. So some other, we think that the socket is giving a response and sending information and all. What is a UDP connection? How socket interface will work? First, it give a request and it give a response because UDP is a connectionless service. Don't forget that. Giving a request and getting a response. So nothing more than that. If you talk about TCP, first it needs to give a connection establishments. So that will be responsible for sockets. Then it's create a path and data transfer will be happen and the termination will be happen. Again, if you want to check getting a connection and the connection established will happen, then the data will be path will be created and the data will be transmitted. So that is nothing but sockets used in a TCP communication. So this is about application layer and application paradigms. We discuss about network application and we do talk about that models we have like client server model, peer-to-peer model, and we discuss about application programming interface. So we talked about host applications and how they are interact with other host or other end user. So between how the infrastructures will be available like internet. So that's we discussed in the previous chapters too about each layering. OSI model, I have to talk about layered architecture, the dividing the task, data, the packets, segments, and these things. The starting layer is application layer, and there we have a process, we have applications, we have web applications. So through the web applications are using a software like web browser. That using the software, we are using a protocol, application protocols. Through the protocol, we are accessing the server. Then server will be response, and that will be given to application layer. So the application layer user gets a service from presentation session layer or the transport layer, and application layer gives service to transport layer. So these things are happen. So thank you.